All right, good evening, gang, and happy Mother's Day to all my friends that are mothers and moms-to-be. And we celebrate you, and hope you had a wonderful day. And thank you for joining me. If you are present at this time, maybe you tune in with this at another time at your convenience, of course. So let's begin right away. So we're going to give the hips some extra tension tonight, and so we'll start in Shavasana, lying down. So find that comfortable position that works for you. And again, always, if you're new to the practice and you're still very much exploring what works for your body, just simply change it up. You might want the arms above you or at your sides and the knees stay bent in some way. Maybe throw some yoga blocks if you have some, or some pillows, some cushioning underneath your kneecaps, so they're not just dropping down towards the earth on their own, unless that is comfortable for you. So just wedge into a place that is comfortable for your body, perhaps giving the head some comfort, some support behind, and then just finding that still point. Tucking the shoulder blades underneath and connecting to the breath. And I hope you have a great practice. And of course, linger afterwards in the meditation for as long as you'd like, hopefully without any disruptions. So the music is the breath. So in your comfortable spot, hopefully that comfort will become a little bit more inviting. Before we invite any sort of movement, I can't stress enough how important that aspect of building that relationship to the breath is. So spending another 2 to 3 minutes just on your spine in some way, building that appreciation and that curiosity for that expansion and that contraction of the breath. So just finding that rise and fall of the front body, and the back body takes you down deeper into the earth beneath you. Closing your eyes if they're not yet already. And tuning into maybe something that you're working on physically or spiritually in some way. Maybe you're dedicating this practice to mom, or a little bit of everything. Pockets for yourself, pockets for mom, pockets for some greater source, right? And if nothing comes to mind right away, that's okay. Maybe within the hour and a bit, we uncover those answers to why we do show up on the yoga mat. So riding that breath. And we just slip into this whole other world of yin yoga. And then tapping into that still side of life. And as we know, it's that balance of the busyness of life. Even if we have very much changed course in a very dramatic way for a lot of us, we could still feel very busy in probably a lot of different ways, activity throughout the day. So just for now, applaud yourself for your adventures today. And let's not analyze and look too far away into the rest of our night. Just right here. And the shift can be a challenge, right? Shifting from running around to slowing down and just being cool with being still. Giving yourself that permission for the remainder of this practice to indulge. Ultimately to let go, to completely relax, right? Filling up the top of your lungs and finding that still point at the top before exhaling all the way long and smooth. Finding that moment of still point at the bottom of the exhale, and then inhale, riding it up again. As the back body presses down deeper, the front body opens, expands, and then there's this meshing in of the front and back. Sometimes you might find certain emotions come up to surface. Our job is never to judge the things that come up, but just to witness. Sometimes our brains feel really tense and tight, instead of doing, that state of just allowing. That's really one of the main themes I really like to stress, and it's just, these are just notes that I've come up with throughout my own practice, and just finding that wave of breath, right, and just noticing any negative thoughts that might come and go. Just ride them out, feeling the breath. Allow it to just flush into every part of your body. And the breath is never forced, it's not aggressive, but at the same time it becomes more full, and allowing the inhales to become an opportunity to cultivate new life into these deeper spaces, especially when we get into more challenging postures, challenging physically, challenging mentally. But ultimately, this helps us create space. Last few breaths. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. And give your head a little gentle rock side to side. Wiggling of your toes and fingers, ankles and wrists, just a gentle reawakening. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or remain focused on one spot above you as we begin to shift a little bit more. So if your knees were bent, let's go ahead and extend the left leg long, toes flexed back to your kneecap. And let's pull the right knee into the chest, window-leading pose, interlacing the fingers just below the knee or under, relaxing your right foot. Tuck the shoulder blades under, tuck your chin in slightly, and gently start to venture into the range of motion and where this best feels for you, where it feels really good, some tight spots. Just make sure any pinching in the hip crease, let's send the knee over to the shoulder slightly more, opening up into the groin, awakening areas of the glute and the hip. Already notice if the breath is lost. And you're welcome to kind of move about just a little bit, create some movement every so often, or maybe you just find a really yummy spot and you just hold it there. Ensure that the left toes are flexed, protecting the knee, stabilizing that whole left leg. And let's spend just another about minute and a half here. Maybe imagine every so often that you're in a standing position. Our left foot is the anchor, in like a mountain pose. We're upright, steady, confident, really sure, with a soft gaze, and we're pulling our knee in. So finding height, finding length, but then this connection to the shoulder blades and the whole spine against the floor, the tailbone. Next will be hamstring stretch. So maybe you have a jump rope or you have an exercise band close to you. Otherwise, maybe you're not needing one. Relaxing the mouth, the jaw, the cheekbones, the space between your eyebrows. Started my day with a beach walk, a walk to the beach and back. Several hours down here with my own practice, and then a couple hours with Mom in the garden, and then ending my evening with a walk in the forest with the family with headlamps. Last few breaths here. And then go ahead and invite this right leg up to your own degree. Maybe keep a generous bend. You might want to slide your left foot to the floor and keep the anchor there the whole time, or re-extend the left leg whenever you'd like. So interlace around your ankle, calf muscle, or using the strap. Your foot is pushing into the strap and you're pulling down. And again, just feeding the leg a little bit of curiosity. Just ensuring that the tailbone hasn't lifted. We want that anchored. And we'll spend another couple minutes now here. On the exhales, maybe inviting a little bit more drawing down. If your left leg is long, please keep in mind we want to have the foot flex slightly. When we're pointing the toes, we'll feel the shin open up. It does feel good. And however, just because generally we're fairly tight around the whole length of the leg into the Achilles, you'll definitely feel that the power surge when we're flexing it more so than pointing. So go ahead and continue breathing into the space, hamstring stretch with the right leg. So again, I like to think of yin as meditation in motion. It's kind of massaging that spine, your whole back body into the floor. So automatically, our hips, not delving into that too much quite yet, but our hips, they're the target joints in our body. One of the tightest parts of the body are the hips. And there's a lot of muscle, there's a lot of bone, there's a lot of nerve in there, and that's why typically, classically, they take quite some time to really allow that opening. A lot of meridians that intersect this complicated joint. Just a handful of breaths left. And so again, this practice is specifically devoted to making sure that these hips are open and supple and loose. And just these deep stretches, usually afterwards, the after effect, we're really moving from these outer layers, the outer surface of the muscle, and just moving really deep into the ligaments that hug around the bone, the fascia, the connective tissue. And there's a little gentle pressure that gets exerted into those areas, and that pressure is ultimately just really what stimulates good, quality, deep, healthy tissue. Let's take one more breath. Hamstring stretch. All right. You can go ahead and scrunch and release through the toes if you'd like, and release like all the way down. Flexing your right toes, left knee in for the squeeze, interlacing the fingers. Gently pulling in and slightly over to your left shoulder. So just arriving now at the scene, taking inventory of what you're needing here, what it is you're feeling, and keeping that breath going. The up and down. In and out, the on and on. Creating this safe haven where you can explore the depths. Really digging in. Just under 2 minutes on this side. Left knee into the chest. Capping off your day and into the beginning of your evening here. And as we know, as most of us know, the longer we hold, the deeper we can go, and the deeper we go, flexibility increases. So there's that quality of stillness, and then finding that sweet spot, finding your edge, and finding those areas of resistance. Not fun all the time. So there's that battle of loving and hating something in the moment. Ever trying to aggressively jam any part of our body into a space that isn't feeling right. So there is that softness component within the deep. Yeah, that could seem very way out there. Kind of hippy dippy. Last few breaths. Those of you newer to yin, within an hour, sometimes, typically, we might hold, or we might practice maybe 10 postures, very rarely even 10. It's based more on quality than quantity, because we're spending that time with each posture. One more inhale here, holding on. Exhale, maybe a bit more of a squeeze. Hamstring stretch. Go ahead and Slide your right foot in if you'd like, as we extend the left leg up. Use a strap of some kind, again, if you'd like. And maybe half the time, your right foot is grounded. Then you play with inching it further away from you. And just listen to what feels right, what you'd like to explore. You're pushing your right heel away from you, flexing the toes and playing with pointing, flexing through this left leg. Notice as you're pulling, and I'm exaggerating personally, if you're watching, you don't have to be watching me right now, but what I'm doing is I'm sticking my left hip and butt cheek out to the side, which is making my left leg come a lot closer to me. That's not the point. When we reshift the hips, left hip down, right hip up, as if I'm pulling my right hip up to my shoulder from a bird's eye view, my hip bones should look quite squared. So that's just proper alignment for long-term healthy body. So a lot of magic happens in this long hold. So as we know, good things take time. So it's very liberating physically. Last few breaths here. Connecting to source. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and go ahead and bend the left knee. Ground through the foot. Slide your right foot in if your right leg was long, so both feet are planted, both knees are bent. We'll go through a bridge flow, so reverse cat-cow. Heels close enough in that maybe your fingertips are touching. Don't worry about it if they can't get close enough. Toes should feel that they're pointing straight ahead. Root down to the shoulder blades and the soles of your feet. And heels. Inhale, let's take the hips up. Pelvic floor lifting. Low back, chest, belly. And on the exhale, lift your heels and ride down the spinal column. Tailbone last, and then the heels. So keep the feet down on the whole ride up. Inhale, lifting. So riding the breath in tune with your body. And exhales are longer. So when I lift my heels, I'm just inviting that. It should be timely. The exhale still going. So the lift of the heels, just give that extra time. So just a few more times at your own pace. Hopefully this feels good. Keeping the neck neutral. When you're about to exhale with the heels, and then they go down last, a snake-like motion. Lubricating the hips, the low back, and appreciating the dance of the spine, the natural, beautiful curvature. Let's take it up and down once more. Inhale. Imagine you're gently squeezing a couple yoga blocks between the arches of your feet and another one between your knees, just so the knees aren't flailing out to the side. If you have any blocks between your knees by any chance, just set them out to your side. Let's bring the knees into our chest and give your knees a hug. Maybe a juicy hug, maybe something more simple. Maybe a rock side to side that feels right, that feels good. And the next will be a child's pose. So a very beautiful enclosing posture. Roll to one side or cross an ankle over the other and gently bring your way up. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. And from sometimes when I'm in a practice, I very much keep my eyes closed and I just completely tune in to what the teacher's saying. I just keep writing it out with my eyes closed, just to maintain that beautiful practice. So it's a very much, I'm at church right now, so however I'm teaching right now. So a child's pose variation, knees can be hip width apart or mat width apart, or together. And then choose the variation for your arms. If your knees are closed, front body can pour over top of the lower half, palms side up alongside your feet, and just curling inwards, forehead down. Otherwise, your front body is reaching down in between the legs, and you're just arriving downwards. Connecting to stillness. We'll be here for a couple minutes. Balasana, the child's pose. Another beautiful posture to make time for, like Shavasana, in your day. Sometimes just circulating that prana, just moving things around a little bit. So in your child's pose, just maybe a little bit of a shift side to side, if you'd like to take that. And just exploring the depth of your inhale, how far down it can go as the back body rises. And this exhale, long and smooth. Maybe feeling a sense of lightness, heaviness. Just moving that chi around. Just gratitude for the safety net that's holding you, that's embracing you. And thanking yourselves that you're choosing to make this time for you right now. Few moments here in child's pose, just keeping that wave of breath flowing. I'd like to share a quote from Lao Tzu from the Tao Te Ching, who says, "A man is born gentle and weak as death. He is brittle or hard and stiff. All things, including the grass and trees, are soft and pliable in life, dry and brittle at death. Stiffness is thus a companion of death. Flexibility, a companion of life. An army that cannot yield will be defeated. A tree that cannot bend will crack and fall in the wind. The hard and stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail." And so that's what we find in the practice of yin, is that pervading sense of suppleness. so that our bodies are more adaptive, but hopefully also our minds become more adaptive. And we're all facing challenges on a daily basis, and a mind that is both adaptable and subtle is just, we see these things from different vantage points and then discern what is the best path to take, and it all comes from a place of wisdom. And that wisdom becomes greater the more often we're in tune with our body and our mind. And so on that note, in child's pose, slowly ride yourself up, lifting onto hands and knees. And take a few side-to-side motions in the hips, pausing one side. Put a little padding underneath the base of your palms for more support there, or for the knees, if your surface is a little bit too harsh. And some circular rotations. Let's keep the right knee down and go ahead and make some circular motions in the left hip. Keep the elbows slightly bent, shoulders stacked over the wrists, right hip over the knee. Last time around and down. Other side. Shifting onto your left kneecap and rotations to the right side. Last time around and down. Let's pop up into downward dog. Lifting the hips and rooting down to the base of your palms. Allow your head to be heavy. And take whatever you need while you're up here. Bending of one knee. Flexing the other. Motion. Breath. Length from the tailbone to the crown of your head. Getting into the arch of the back. Opening up the heart. Retucking tailbone in and just finding that neutral low back. Keep your knees soft. Elbows softly bent. Shifting into lizard pose next. Inhale, foot the left leg high. Bending knees, stacking left hip over the right. Inhale, look to the outside of your left hand. And then let's go ahead and extend the left leg, left foot to the outside of the hand. And right kneecap down. You could place some padding underneath your right knee if you'd like. So with yin, there can be a lot of options, but most of them are very classic and very true to yin. And even though they can be repeated and can seem boring, there's just new, fresh phases of wisdom within the repetition. So just arriving here at the scene with Dragon's Pose, just keep in mind, now that we're getting a little bit juicier into the groin, into the hip, into the glute, just be really mindful of your exploration with the postures at this point. Some of you might want some padding underneath the palms to bring the floor closer to you. Greater range of motion. Foot and knee faces the corner of your mat to roll onto the edge of your foot. And then just take a little bit of your body weight over there. Maybe use the blocks or the padding for your elbows to rest on. And you come all the way down. So there's this greater option. Now maybe you aren't aware that you're go. Hopefully you're feeling something turn on and you know that you're putting in the work. You might want to put a bolster out in your underneath your front body, and you're just completely submerging onto the body pillow, onto some cushions of some kind. And sometimes in my yin classes, I'll completely leave students in silence for a whole minute or two, depending on the students' levels. And sometimes I'll just do a lot of storytelling. So if you're joining me, let's stay put as best we can here in whichever variation of dragon/lizard pose you're practicing for almost another minute. As far as collecting some nice grounding, relaxing, calming music, Insight Timer is one of my favorites. Otherwise, hours long music options through YouTube. But Insight Timer, there's time options, there's different styles of music, there's guided meditations, there's non-guided meditations, meditation music for sleep, for anxiety, for all these different categories. In particular, if you look up James Anthony, just forgot his last name, James Anthony Walker, I think I want to say Walker. He's quite popular. He puts out really good compositions on Insight Timer. And if you came down onto your forearms and you just can't wait to get out of this thing. If there's pain, you must come up. And that's fine, you're not failing yourself. You found your edge. Wherever you are, last 3, 2, and let's take one more breath in. Right out the exhale. Slowly come up if you're on your elbows. Roll your left foot back onto the sole of the foot, if it was onto its side. Walk your right kneecap in. Now, your right leg behind you. Option 1, those of us with a little bit more range of motion, we're going to drop onto our right hip and continue lapping, crossing left knee up and around for a double shoelace. Otherwise, your right leg is going to be long toes flexed to the kneecap, maybe with the yoga strap pulling you down, and left knee up and over, as tight as comfortable. So option 1, the right leg is long or also bent underneath. And some of us like to have a whole galore of cushioning here, of blocks, again to help us with the elevation component for the arms and the palms. So now that we're here, just settling into our seat. And you might want to stay upright. Maybe you delve into it slightly and just kind of explore. Being mindful, we want to keep the tailbone rooted. And we play with folding inwards. internally. A lot of emotions come up within these long-held postures. So noticing where you're feeling it now compared to the last posture, even previously throughout your day. What sort of shifts physically are you feeling? Last half a minute there. Again, if your right leg is long, same idea. A gentle tuck in of the chin as well, perhaps just to soften and some life from the length of your spine. And a slow lift on your next inhale, gently coming up. A little windshield wiper of both legs. We're coming into dragon's pose next, but let's pop back up and around to downward facing dog. So when you're ready, lifting up, breathing in out of the nose, maybe once in a while, exhale out of the open mouth. And let's take it up. Inhale, float the right leg up, bend the knee, stacking hip. Crack, 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 crack. And when you're ready, invite the right leg to the outside of your right hand and left knee is down behind you. Respect that one side could be very much different than the other. So we're going to take that time that it needs here. Just really see how slow you can move. Maybe make that a challenge for yourself. Just moving through thick honey. Just really slow things down. You're no longer skimming over the surface of anything. Just noticing how you become more aware of the subtlety and the dimension. And again, we deepen that relationship to self. And so much of our day, our energy, is going out, and we become bombarded by external stuff and stimulation. So just under a minute here on this side, by the way. So this is the time that we go inward. Sometimes there are students that like to rest their head on that block or that bolster as well, so that, again, as much as possible, you're just really melting down, even if you're on your hands, even if you're on the sole of the foot. Just get creative. Maybe next time you just have lots of stuff around you. The couch cushions stacked. Let the couch do the work for you. Breathe into it. Let it out. Let all the crap, the uncertainty, the unknown, breathe through it. Last 5, 3, 2. If you're on your elbow, slowly come up. Slide your left knee in as we bring the right foot to the earth. And take your left ankle across you. Those of us coming to the full double variation, double shoelace. Right knee crosses up and over. And the soles of the feet are facing back. We're on the edges of the feet. Or again, left leg is long, toes flexed. Right knee in, up and over. And here we are exploring what's going on this side. We can get so caught up mentally when we're just holding, we're just still that, oh yeah, oh, breathe, right? And it happens again. It's just this constant reminding ourselves. And that's where meditation in particular can come in handy. Making the time for that, it's a very different world. Just under half a minute here on this side. And then pretty soon we're going to seal in the practice. We'll end with a twist and then lie down or stay upright, your choice for meditation. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and inhale, slowly come up. Take your hands behind you, windshield wiper. Twist actually and some front body opener. We'll come onto our front body for a little bit too. Yeah, why not? Usually, typically, we've been going till about 7:15-ish on the coast. All right. So one of the last downward dogs. When you're ready, pop your hips up, pedaling out your feet if you need it. And ripple forward to the top of a push-up. Inhale, tall plank. Exhale, lower to the knees, chest, and belly. Inhale, root down to the tops of your feet. Invite just a little baby cobra for a moment. Elbows tuck back. Inhale, and exhale, release. This time, slide your forearms out in front. Open up your feet, mat width apart. Tops of the feet push down. And let's come up into Sphinx. So the elbows are tucked back and propping us up. Shoulders draw back and feel your navel reach forward through the gate of the shoulders. So if your pubic muscle is down and we're not firming up the glutes unless there's a bit of tension in the low back, you might want to elevate your elbows slightly. And when you completely lift them off, it gives you a greater range of motion and flexibility. So the closer your hands are to you, just work within your means. Maybe you're ready to take on a different variation And we'll hold for just under 2 minutes. You might want to open up your palms a little bit more, opening up through the pecs, a little bit more space in the heart. And just feel this beautiful heart space open. Freedom in the neck. Space. Holding, breathing. There's that quote by Pema Chodron. Oh, am I pronouncing her name right? Hopefully someone could help me out with that one. That says, "You are the sky, and everything is the weather." And so the sensations are like the weather, but it doesn't last forever, right? So it's all temporary, and it's like a river of change. And then there's these flows through it. When we fight the flow, it's like rope burn. And rope burn is for our nervous system. So just like water, we yield. You yield to the experience, just breathing into it and breathing through it. Half a minute left. You're all the way up, gently lower onto your elbows. Bending, keeping your elbows bent. Let's invite the left ear to the earth. Bend your right knee so the thigh and kneecap is in line with your hip. And this is to neutralize the low back. And close your eyes. And take yourself down. Breathing life into the low back. And let's switch. Right leg long. Left knee bent out. And right ear to the earth. Decide on an inhale when to come up. Turn your gaze down, slide your hands down to help prop yourself up. And let's swing the legs into our sight and spinal twist. So once again, left leg long, right foot crosses to the outside. Option again, like our double shoelace, to bend the left knee underneath. Inhale, left arm folds up, and go ahead and cross the left elbow to the outside or elbow crease around your knee. And maybe the length of your arm follows the side of the leg. Use your right hand as an extra spine to prop yourself up. Exhale to twist. Lift your chin, exposing the neck. breath. Inhale to center. And a counter twist over to your left. Exhale. Inhale, center. Switch. So maybe right leg long, toes flex, left foot crosses to the outside. Or bend your right knee underneath. Inhale, extend right arm. Elbow crosses or elbow crease supports the knee. Left hand behind you. So feel your shoulders in line with one another. Space. And explore your twist. And take one more breath. Inhale to gently come out. And around, exhale, counter twist. If there's any last couple postures that you'd like to practice before settling into a final resting posture for meditation, please go ahead and then join into your Shavasana state or upright seated position. Maybe have a meditation chair or cushion. I'm going to go ahead and get mine. I think it's a little bright actually too. Might help. Okay. James Anthony Walker, yes. Yes, okay. I'm going to find another one of his too. So hopefully you're in a position that didn't really help. I think it's this window that has the light, but the sun will kind of die down a little bit more. Sorry. Feels so white and exposed. Okay, so however you are in Shavasana or sitting up in a proper seated meditation experience, it really doesn't matter, especially lately, right now. So you're in a comfortable, safe space, and you might have your palms facing up if you're sitting, or in a mudra of some kind in your lap. You're in Shavasana, of course, at your sides or above you with bent elbows. And I'm going to close this. I just find it's bothering my eyes. If that might help. Okay. This might help a little bit. Yeah, okay. My true color. Okay. So just starting to feel your body take its shape in your seat or against the floor. And just feel your jaw disengage and your cheekbones release any stress and around your eyes. The back of your head may be supported. And those of us upright, invite a gentle chin tuck down. From here, take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale out of an open mouth. Again, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, release out of the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just find a natural breath flowing in and out of the nose. Eyes closed if they're not already. Your natural rhythm, and we call this kind of the autopilot breath as well. Just moving at its own rhythm, developing presence here. Developing presence and finding what T.S. Eliot describes as the still point in the turning of the world. So here you are amidst the activities of the day and just taking some time, pressing the pause button. The turning of day into night. The turning of the seasons, the turning of the sounds. Thoughts and feelings, just really taking your seat, your space. And this is right here, right now. Shifting from doing into being, and from striving into arriving. Shifting from being in that fast forward motion to finding that still point. Allowing any unwanted tension, stress, worry, anxiety to fade away. As the great Zen poet Thich Nhat Hanh says, your true home is in the here and now. So can we really be at home with our breath here? Allowing your breath to rest easy on that gentle motion. And noticing any thoughts that come up and send them away with the exhale. Allowing your mind to find that deep undercurrent of peace, the depth of your body, the depth of that breath, in tune with the body. And then within the moments of the breath, finding that pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale. That pause at the bottom. Inhale, filling up. muscles around your face even more now, and through the shoulders. Letting go of any tension around your chest. Through the length of the spine into your low back. Relax the stomach. The solar plexus and navel. Breathing into the pubic line. Relaxing through the hips. And dropping through your arms. Relaxing through the length of the arms into your wrists, into the shape of your hands, through each fingertip, and through the center of the palms. And relax your legs. The quads, the thighs, the hamstrings, the kneecaps, the shins. Breathing into the ankles, sides of the feet. Relaxing through the tops of the feet and the soles. The balls of the feet into each toe. Just continuing to breathe into your whole body. Inhale up and out through the crown of the head. And exhale, flushing back down, out through our limbs, through the fingertips, the toes. Does the breath feel rich and full? Just making peace with how you're feeling. Fresh oxygen running through your body. Is the breath moving through a soft, even cadence? Just simply observe and witness. What about the temperature? Does the inhale feel warm? And exhale, maybe slightly cooler? Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the inhale feels cool and the exhales are warm. rest of your evening and into the start of your week. Breath in contact with the chest center, through the sternum, through the navel, through the stomach, the rib cage. The back body. It's just this constant connection to the letting go. And now for this one, let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out of the mouth. Anytime you feel yourself becoming stressed, anxious, or agitated, return your attention back to your breath, and back to that present moment, in and out of the nose. And it's just especially helpful in transitions in life, and any moments that you need to call upon this. And just the opportunity for micro meditations. And so when you're ready, begin to once again wiggle toes and fingers, ankles, and wrists. If you're sitting, maybe a gentle rock of the shoulders. Upright, you might want to bring your hands into Namaste, Anjali Mudra at your heart. And taking a bow. In recognition for what you're capable of. And giving thanks to your body, physical body, the mental, the emotional. And taking this pause out of your evening to be here for you.